Saturday in the saddle. We are on Donner Summit on the Pacific Crest Trail. Kind of an odd mix because we are very close to Interstate 80 and yet in the wilderness. It's about 7,000 feet. A little bit of snow that happened, looks like about 10,000 feet. This is a great little trail and probably one of the last times I'll be able to take this one this year, because you've probably heard of the Donner Party. We're not far from where they spent the winter, and I think they got snowed in on October 20th, and we are approaching that. So today I've got the two Mammoth donkeys, Patriot and Rebel. I didn't bring the faithful dog today because this gets a bit of traffic sometimes. It's probably too cold today. But I'm not worried about my dog, but there's a lot of other ones that I am worried about. Let the ears be thy guide. So we're up at about a little over 7,000 feet. Pretty close to Lake Tahoe. Kind of on the backside of a whole bunch of ski resorts. Donner Summit ski resorts. Sugar Bowl, Donner Ski Ranch. Actually, I don't know if we're gonna make it today, but we're pretty close to where the Donner Party spent their fateful winter up here. It was a freak snowstorm that came in about October 20th and didn't let up for, let's say, 3 to 4 months. Before they found them, it was about 4 months. And there was over 20 feet of snow on the ground. Right in between Interstate 80 and Old US 40. And US 40 was the highway before the freeway was built in the late 50s. And right next to that is the old wagon trail that you can still see the grooves in solid granite from all the wagons that went over that. There's it's kind of cool, years of history. So there's Interstate 80, thousands of cars an hour. And then there's US 40 that's seldom used. The wagon trails. Lots of Indian petroglyphs. There's still the telegraph lines on the ground. So it's just thousands of years of history all in one little spot. Oh, gotta stop because this may not look steep, but my butt stuck to this saddle like an abalone on a rock. So there's a lot of trees that you can still see. Hopefully we'll get to them today. Might be a little far, that still have the marks in them from where they used to have to raise and lower the wagon trains, essentially up cliffs. This area gets well over 60 feet of snow every winter. Depends on the winter. Heavy ones and light ones. I've got mules and I've got mammoth donkeys. When I'm on rough trails, I prefer the donkeys. They're a little slower, but they never miss a step. Just on the eastern side of the Sierra Nevada range, just below the summit. That's Castle Peak over there, almost 10,000 feet. I don't think it's gonna happen, but there's a 50% chance of light snow today. It might look sunny, but let me tell you, it's just above freezing, sure enough cold. These are all lodgepole pines, or most of them in here. Lodgepole is what they generally build log cabins with. Pretty darn good firewood. So I don't know how well you can see it, but over there is the Union Pacific Railroad. That's actually an abandoned railroad, and over there we'll get to it, but that is tunnel number 6. That tunnel took 13,000 Chinese workers lost their lives building that one tunnel. They only averaged 2 inches a day. To my knowledge, that is still to this day the hardest granite ever encountered. They started going from one side and weren't making enough progress, so they started going from both sides. And then they developed their first hydraulic jackhammer out of an older small locomotive, and they drilled a hole in the middle, and were essentially going 4 directions at once. And it still took 2 years to build. Some general, I don't remember his name, decided that dynamite wasn't good enough, so they started using straight nitroglycerin. Well, that kind of ended when that general lost his face in an explosion. So lots of history in there, some of it pretty dark. Excuse the bouncing around, I'm on some pretty rough part of the trail right here. So we are just above Donner Lake, which is where the Donner Party spent that winter. Maybe 30 miles west of Reno, Nevada, and probably 20 miles from Lake Tahoe. Get off and stretch my legs and walk a little bit. Gained like 500-600 feet of elevation gain. Now we're gonna lose it. In the summer, it's a pretty popular place for rock climbers. Lots of vertical granite. I've done it, but anymore, I prefer to have my feet closer to the ground. 6 feet in the saddle's just fine. It's warming up. Not warm enough for me to take this hoodie off. Background over there is the old railroad. Tunnel number 6. We're right next to old US 40. And after that is Donner Lake. This is what I was telling you about earlier. This is where they drilled straight down so they could do the tunnel from 4 different sides. I'll try to get close here so you could actually see it. Summit Tunnel number 6, placed on the National Registry of Historic Railroad Landmarks. Tunnel 6 was highest and longest of the first Transcontinental Railroad and was the engineering marvel of the 19th century. Chinese railroad workers toiled around the clock 6 days a week to tunnel through solid granite, making progress of only inches per day, enabling the Transcontinental Railroad over the Sierra and opening California to the nation. And they got rid of this tunnel, or didn't get rid of the tunnel, stopped using it in 1992. So we're just on Donner Pass off US 40. Interstate 80's in the background over there. We're looking straight down on old US 40. This is a great place to watch fireworks on the 4th of July because you get to see them from the top of the fireworks. And this is all glaciated granite. See over there is the train tunnels where they had to go through the solid granite. That's the exit of tunnel number 2. So this is all abandoned tracks now and a great hiking trail. Don't think I want to take the donkeys through mile-long dark tunnels though. Continuing the ride. Sometimes on this solid granite you really gotta guide them because it's hard for them to tell where the trail is and where it isn't. going up that. Coming out of the hole. A little windy, but very nice day. Some of that was a bit rough for me to film and hang on. This granite is polished by glaciers, so it's really slick, especially if it gets a little wet and cold. Just checked my weather app and it looks like I might just get snowed on here in a little bit. So I'm kind of heading back. I don't mind riding in it, but I'd rather not drive it. That's Castle Peak up there. You can see the tops of the trees are a little frozen. I don't know if you can see it on this or not. These rocks are leftover rocks from when the glaciers receded. Big step. Rebel's keeping up good. Sometimes he doesn't pay attention and then gets clotheslined for a minute. Let him have a little bite to eat. We've got a few more miles to go. Loving the fall colors. I'll try to get on a trail with the aspens. They are just spectacular this time of year, but none right in here. Well, we're getting close to the trailhead, so if you made it this far, thanks for joining Saturday in the Saddle. If there's some different content you want to see or anything I could do better, let me know. Drop a comment. And I wouldn't be opposed to a subscribe. I'm going to be doing more content like this, trail rides, some of my pack trips. Do a lot of like week-long pack trips, sometimes just a weekend, up into the high mountains, sometimes on the ocean. So let me know.